Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for you. You know, let me share something with you about why I spend so much time producing videos and posting them here and there about the same subject, basic human rights for every individual on earth. I think it has something to do with my upbringing. You know, I came to the world through the body of a child and raised by the oldest people alive in that particular family. And being black and in the South, you know that means I spent a lot of time in churches. So I got a feeling, I got a hero that was presented through the book called Jesus. Hero. A hero because he was kind, he was nice, he cared. He cared for a power that we couldn't see, that he called God, and had more faith in God, according to the story, than most people, which allowed him to be able to accomplish more things by the power of God because of his faith. Anyway, that didn't matter. I just know that. I grew up just like everybody else. But one of my first jobs after I finished school, a social scientist, was working with the Veterans Administration in Chicago. And this was during the time the Vietnam War was still going on. And I had a chance to deal with the veterans as they were coming out of service, got a chance to deal with their dependents or their survivors. So it put me out dealing with a lot of people in the ghetto. And it hurt. The ghetto hurt because I knew that it was the result of a system that wasn't fair. And here I am at that moment in time, had been trying to be somebody, work my way on up, see where I'm going. Maybe be director of the Veterans Administration, anything. But I started seeing stuff that needed some changes, and I didn't see it coming from anywhere. And what happened was that I did not see anybody caring for others the way Jesus would. No, I'm serious. No, the pain and suffering, crime and violence, all of that stuff was in existence because people didn't care for one another as Jesus would care. And to me, if Jesus was your hero, then this is what you would be advocating for. So I decided to act like Jesus. So I decided that I would start working at the Veterans Administration and I start doing things that would connect me to feel some of the things. I didn't want to feel all the stuff, feel some of the stuff that they were feeling. And because of my faith in God, because of my wanting to be like Jesus, I would stand up for the people who won't stand up for themselves. I would stand up for people who are afraid. I would stand up for the people who didn't know the truth. But what that would basically do when I say stand up for them is to enlighten them and encourage them and engage them to stand up for themselves. So I started acting like that. Started washing windows and storefronts to make extra money. Ended up losing my wife because of that move. And then I joined the Navy. I joined the Navy because of the thing that was going on in Iran, the hostage crisis, Persian Gulf. Maybe there'd be a war. And if it were, maybe I'd be there and I could be a casualty. Just sick of watching stuff that won't change. So that didn't happen. It ended up almost being a vacation till Ronald Reagan was president of the United States. And a lot of people, well, I put it this way, rich people love Ronald Reagan. People who really don't care that much about how others might feel when you screw over them, they love Ronald Reagan because that's what Ronald Reagan did to a lot of people. And I recognize that, not only to the people of this country, but to people in foreign nations. So I mean, it was sort of like an embarrassment to me. Like when you see the things that the MAGA that they do. Had I been a Republican and I listened to MAGA and Trump, I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be ashamed to show my face. Like every time a crime is committed, we as black people, or especially me, I'm hoping it's not a black person. It's just embarrassing. But at the same time, I understand why this stuff goes on. So I decided that I was not going to, it was too embarrassing to be wearing a uniform in the Navy and our country acting like this. So I wanted to disassociate myself from the military as a statement to you, to the people everywhere, that you are more important than what the system permits. You are more important. We are better than that. And so this is my protest. And I didn't want any benefits from the military, anything. Nah, because my mind is that Jesus would change things. And if you had the love of God in you, the love of Jesus, you change things. And I wanted you to know that that's what I represent. So this was an act to let you know that, hey, Jesus loves you. And he inspired me to stand up and advocate for a fairer system than the one we are exposed to every day. Well, that was just one move. But now, since then, I've been through jails, I've been through prisons, and every time I did it, I end up incarcerated. It was because of a statement I wanted to make to you. When I went to prison, a statement to make to you. I was working for a guy, a Rothschilds, in property management, and I decided that it was in the 90s, I believe, something was going on, and I needed to make a statement to you. So in that job capacity, I took a few $1,000s and disposed of it as I wanted to. Then I went to my boss and told him what had happened. I spent the money. I took the money. I spent it. And he asked me, wanted me to justify it. I told him I wanted to be arrested. I wanted to be charged. And so he couldn't talk me out of it. So we went, turned myself in, and they wouldn't even arrest me the same day. They told me to come back. This was about the weekend, I believe. They told me to come back Monday. And I went back Monday. But why did I do this? I wanted to say to you, back to the people in the 90s and to you today, I wanted to say to you that the truth about how the life that we could be living, that I share with you, is so real. It's real enough for me to commit this crime, and this is a crime according to the way our system is set up. And I'm not running from it. I'm willing to do the time just as a commitment to you, to let you know that I'm not playing. I know exactly what I'm saying. And Jesus is not gonna, the one that I speak to you about is not gonna set me aside and have me living high on the hog, have me living good when my message is to all of us. But we have to come together. The message is trust in a power that you can't see. Why? Because everything that exists by the power that you can't see. The only thing that exists by us is the pain and suffering that we have to go through. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, the hatred, the racism, the bigotry. That is all us. The earth, the air, the mountains, the resources in the earth that makes it possible for us to do all the things that we do. That's from God. That's from, right now you ask yourself, according to what's happening in America today, why did they put a picture representing Jesus in the book that was white? Blonde hair, blue eyes. Why do you think they did that? Well, they did it for the reason that you see happening. Put themselves on top, white people on top. That's the message that everybody, the white people should get, that God looks like you. Anything that is about God is represented in you just because you look like God. And everybody else that does not look like God, it'll be anything we associate with you. I mean, you find out later that they had a picture, the real picture of Jesus that was black, but they hid that in a vault. Didn't want you to see that. Why? Because it would have had the same effect. It would have made you feel like you were of God, that you had the right to run and control stuff. At least that's what they thought. And they thought that because that's what they thought. And they did what they did because they figured you'd do that too. Boy, oh boy, it can be crazy sometimes. Anyway, I wanted you to know that peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, and happiness is ours. That we can actually live our dreams. We don't have to go to sleep and think about stuff. No, we can actually live it every day. Our needs, our wants, and our desires met whenever we want it to be. We suffer for nothing. And the reason that allows us to do this is because we know that we benefit from the earth. So we participate in the earth. We participate in life. We have a career. And we are blessed enough to choose the career that we have. Nobody dictating to us. We have no other motivation but that we love what we're doing. You know, we used to think about how much money it makes. How much can I get out of it? Now we're thinking about how much joy can I get out of it? How much joy can I get out of it? And you choose your career based on that. And because you are engaged in that, it makes every human being that's engaged in this process, within this system, part owners of everything that's created by the hands of man. Everything that's created by the hands of men. All the people are part owners of it. So you don't need bankers, you don't need lenders, you don't need no bosses like that trying to make no profit, because the profit is based upon your advancement, advancement in knowledge and how you motivated to do more, to be better, to, to be divine in what you do, the best. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, so to me, that's what it means. So all of these years, that's why I keep presenting these videos, presenting these talks, if you will, to try to persuade you to give God a chance, the real God. I'm not talking about the one that's putting guns in your hands, talking about civil war. I'm not talking about the one talking about you can't do this and you'll take away this right thing. I'm not talking about that one like that. I'm talking about a God of love. That it only problem that folks upset with, especially these people, is that it eliminates. It's about eliminating your pain. It's about eliminating your suffering. It's about finding out what is causing it and fixing it. It's not about hating. It's not about separating, dividing. It's about teaching you the right way because you don't know any better. Teaching you the right way in words and in deeds by loving you because you do not know any better. Well, that's why I keep doing what I do. And it just blew my mind because I did run for president several times based on those principles, not asking you to pay, loan me money, not asking you to donate anything except telling you just what I shared with you with the hope that you would desire it so much that you couldn't stop talking about it. But instead, you never talked about it, probably because you never heard about it. It beats like that, but you heard everything about Donald Trump. You heard everything. I mean, you hear it now. You still haven't shut up. And I'm still talking. And if you check me on my subscriptions, hey, they're very low. So not very many people are hearing it even now after all of these years. But it's the same. And I do it. And I go through the changes that I go through because it's worth it. It's a sacrifice to let you know. I don't have to. I mean, I could be a nut just like everybody else. I could be riding high on the monkey train just like everybody else, lying and cheating and stealing and abusing folks and takes advantage of people, conning people. No, I could be doing that too, but no, that's to me is the way losers operate. People who don't know any better. Yep. All right. Thank you so very much.